I have been using this Sally Hansen Cuticle Massage Cream with apricot oil. I picked it up this winter because I was having a real problem with dry skin around my fingernails and, you know, kind of the hangnail situation, and I really wanted to try to soften just the edges of my fingertips. And I didn't really like it. I didn't really feel like it was doing much of anything for me. And I can tell you one thing definitely for sure. I would only recommend this product really if you live in a very warm climate, because now that it's summertime and it's hot, the consistency of this has changed so much, and I can say that I do like it much better. It's kind of melted, basically, is what's happened, and it's become much softer and a little bit more moisturizing, and there's a bit more, I don't want to say an oily feel to it, but it just has a much better consistency, and it's easier to work with. I still don't know if I feel like it really does a whole lot, but I can definitely say that once it gets a little bit melty, it's a much better product. So I really wouldn't recommend this if you live in a colder climate, because it's just not, it's probably not going to work for you. It'd be better to use some type of a cuticle oil, or something along those lines. I've been using it now. I'm not really using it on my fingers now because it's summer and I don't really need it. You know, my skin's pretty nice, but what I've been doing is when I paint my nails, particularly my toes, because nail polish stays so well on your toes, I don't really do a whole lot to maintain it. Basically, every night I will paint one toenail, kind of just do a touch-up on one nail, and I just switch nails. I kind of do one nail, like on my right foot, like say for instance, on Monday I'll do my baby toe on my right foot, and Tuesday I'll do my baby toe on my left foot, and then I'll do the fourth toe on my right foot on Wednesday, and then the fourth toe on my left foot on Thursday, that kind of thing. So every 10 days I basically have touched up every toenail, and I just am able to maintain my pedicure really easily that way. So what I'll do is, you know, because it only takes a minute, the toenail that I'm touching up, I'll, you know, clip it and trim it and push back the cuticles and that sort of thing and paint it. And then the next night, when I'm doing the next toe, after I paint the next toe, I'll come back to the toe I did before and I'll use this cuticle cream on the previous toe, just to kind of keep the skin soft and keep the cuticles soft once they've been pushed back. The reason that I don't do it the day that I'm actually touching up that toe is because I'm just a little concerned that the cuticle cream has, you know, it has somewhat of an oiliness to it, or a greasiness to it, or whatnot, and I just don't want it to contaminate the nail polish that I've either just freshly painted or I'm about to paint. So I just do the nail that I did the night before with the cuticle cream. So that's how I've been using it for the summertime, just on my toes to keep them touched up and keep my pedicure nice nonstop. You might be able to use this a little bit on some dry patches too, but I think that, you know, moisturizer or lotion would work better for that as well. So if you have any recommendations on what to use, or if you want to let me know what you use by means of taking care of your cuticles or keeping the skin around your nails moisturized and keeping hangnails at bay, then I'd be interested in hearing it. So feel free to leave a video response or a message below and let me know how you take care of your nails. And if you have a product that you recommend over this, I'd be interested in hearing that as well, because winter will be returning before we know it. So have a good night, guys. Today I used the Dream Smooth Mousse, and I told you guys before that I used it with the sponge. Here's the sponge. I wasn't able to get the cap open before. And actually the sponge doesn't smell as bad as it did. I don't know whether maybe the smell dissipates over time just from opening up the lid and letting it air out. But today I applied it with the MARC Blush Bronzer Flat Top brush. And I don't know what to say about that, really. I feel like using a sponge is always the easiest way to apply foundation. So, you know, this brush puts it on really nicely if you're going to use a brush, but I always feel like a sponge is better. So I don't know that it really made that much of a difference other than not having to smell the sponge. And it really didn't change the coverage. It still isn't great coverage. It's definitely heavier than like a tinted moisturizer, and it does give you more color than that, but as far as covering spots and things, it's not that much better than a tinted moisturizer. It's a very sheer kind of coverage. And I think you probably can build it a little bit, but not enough that it's going to make a huge difference. So I think this is okay, but I'm really not sold on it. I just think that there are better products. I did want to tell you guys, though, I realized why, really, I wouldn't call this a new product. I would call this a very, very old product, because I realized why this felt so familiar to me. And if you guys are old like I am, and you remember the late 70s, early 80s, if you are a performer in any way, if you do any kind of entertaining, whether it was theater or television or what have you, you guys remember the old pan shadows. And they looked just like this, except for they were much bigger because they were made for, you know, commercial use. And this is exactly what that is. We've just gone back in time. The only difference is that it doesn't cover as well as those did. I mean, those, the feel is the same. Remember me telling you that it's kind of wet when you apply it and very cool? That's exactly what the old the old cake foundations felt like. They felt like a liquid, a thick liquid, spackly sort of substance was being applied on your face. And those covered everything. I mean, they literally blocked out your skin and covered everything. And so the only difference is that this doesn't cover everything. It's more sheer, and it doesn't go on as thick. That stuff, when you wore it, you could feel it on your face. And I think that's what a lot of people, especially older people, will say if they won't wear foundation. You know, they'll tell you, I don't like the way it feels on my face. And it's because they probably had to use that at some point and have never tried anything else since then, because you could feel that stuff on your face. This, you don't really feel it on your face. It's nicer than that, but it's exactly the same thing. So I would like to encourage the companies that make foundation to actually make new product and not go back and remarket really old products. And if you're going to have it be that style, make sure it covers the spots that we want to have covered. But otherwise, the color is still really nice. It's just, for me, it's just not going to cover the sunspots that I need to have covered. So that's all for that. Oh, I'm adding in an eyeshadow. I think I'm going to combine it. This is a cream powder eyeshadow in Velvet Smoke from, I know you can't read this, it just says Division of Nutrient Cosmetic Ltd. So I don't actually know what company it is. But it's kind of a combination of a gray and a gray with some green in it. And it goes on pretty sheer. So I think I'm going to incorporate that somehow in with the Luxe eyeshadow quad and see what kind of a look I can come up with adding that in. So we'll see how that turns out. Alright,